So then, George, basically our fishing makes about three things, isn't it? What we want to catch, where we want to fish, and how we want to fish.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we've got to look at the location first of all and make sure where we're going, we'll be able to find and catch the fish we need.
That's it. Where you live in the country determines what you're going to catch in that area. So you pick your location where you're happy to fish with.
Yeah.
Sandy beach, a rocky mark, mud, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously those areas, each area you're going to catch different certain types of species. So for instance, here where we're sat on a rock, we're basically looking for rock species such as wrasse,
dogfish, bullus, odd rays, congers,
and all
big
pollock.
fish, and the odd pollock. yeah. But the bigger fish, I know rocks seem to throw up the bigger fish, but it's not in all the areas it does that.
The thing with coming to a place like this is there's no way on earth. You and I'm from Devon, you're from the East Coast, there's no way on earth we could just turn up here and go fishing because we wouldn't know where to go. So doing that, what do we need to look at?
You need to be looking at, if you know someone in the area who fishes it regular, have a word with him, or your best thing to do is have a word with the local tackle shop.
Yeah.
He'll give you the information you need, the tides, when it fishes best, what state of the tides even, your baits, some sandhill, mackerel, ragworms, things like that, and rock marks. That's the main baits. On sandy beaches, it could be worm, it could be crab. Have a word with the tackle dealer first, and he will put you right, and he might have the bait what you need as well.
One thing as well I think is really important is the weather, the wind and the tides, as we were saying about the location. So for instance, if this had been blowing a 5 to 6 southwesterly, it would have been first and foremost not safe.
It wouldn't have been very nice at all. No, you'd have had swell everywhere. The rocks would have been very slippery. Your mobile phone's no good here. Yeah. You're out of the way. Me personally, I think if you was coming, you have to let someone know that you are where you're going to be and what time you're going to be back.
Yeah.
Some of these areas here, no one's ever going to know unless there's two of you.
Yeah.
If you're on your own, I wouldn't even think about going on your own in these places.
And venues like this, when we're looking at these rocks, they might well put your foot down and you could be away because it could be slippy. Doesn't look, wet rock can be very slippy.
It can, yeah. And the weed is one of the worst things. You get green weed and it's very, very slippery. In the summer it grows everywhere. And if you're fishing at low tide, you're amongst the weed as well. That's the thing. High tide is not bad. You're on rocks that have been exposed to to the weather and that lot, and they're a bit more hardy. The ones that are down underneath the tide line are very slippery.
So if we were going to go and fish some of the other locations we're going to do, another way we could do is possibly look at people that belong to local clubs, get involved with the local clubs.
Yep. If you're looking at getting to know more venues in your local area, join a club. Yeah. They usually fish on one place all the time. They switch around. You get a bit of knowledge then of your local area. Not only that, you get to pick the brains of the better anglers who will tell you things, what baits to use, what time of year certain fish come through, your codlins, your whitings, your plaice, your flounders, all things like that.
As a local retailer in your area, George, it's important that you keep in touch with those clubs and all the anglers and all the people. You have all the best knowledge. You make sure everyone tells you where the fish are, so that you can then pass on that information. And that's key to you as a retailer, not only giving information but also receiving it.
I'm actually a member of clubs in my area, and I get to fish on the club scene and I get to fish the match scene as well.
Yeah.
So I get to know both sort of thing. It's a good thing, but you get pleasure anglers who come in all the time asking you, where can I catch some smoothhounds? Where can I catch a cod? And straight away you can tell them, this is the bait you need, mate, this is where you want to be. And 9 times out of 10 they come back and thank you, they caught fish.
Yeah.
So I know I've got a tackle shop. There's a lot of tackle shops in areas that can help you all the time. And a tackle dealer wants you to do well. Yeah. Because if you do well, you'll go back again.
Basically, we're pretty lucky. We've been blessed with glorious weather here. It's beautiful weather, sunshine. But we've come here on a neap tide. Now, a neap tide's a small tide.
Small tide, yeah. It's areas like this, bigger the tides here, spring tides, which are the larger tides, you'll have too much tide run here. You get pulled into all the snags, stuff like that. So, yeah, neap tides are better here. We've got nice weather. You've got to look at your weather before you go fishing. You've got to check it, especially where anywhere in the country fishes on different weather conditions and different sized tides. Yeah. So go on the Ultima page, on the C section on ultimauk.com. You'll get everything you need to know from tides, weather, a whole lot.
Excellent.